Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Wednesday, September 20th, 2017. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss, and here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Remember, we have the FOMC statement coming up later on today, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's also the Fed interest rate decision as well. So that's going to give us another FOMC key level, which is a very important key level that we put on our charts. You can see the last one we had here is from July 26th. Notice how price traded around it, took it offered, came right back to it, took it offered. Once it rejected down here, came back to it, eventually went bid through it. So you can see how important these levels are. So we're going to get another one of those levels today. In terms of overall direction here, I mentioned 2480 as being the key level here for the market. Even if the market was to pull back into that zone, it could still provide a great bounce opportunity for a continuation toward highs. We have a very quiet uptrending behavior here, but 2517 could be the next upside target off 2480 if this thing were to pull back. Again, very, very tightly coiled price action up here. Very narrow range the previous session, about one of the most narrow ranges I can remember here in the ES. So we got to continue to watch this here as we head into the afternoon. Look to fade edges, but if there's really no game being played, look to be on the sidelines until we get something actionable. Here's a look at crude oil now. So crude oil is holding right at highs, 51s. The previous month's high here, price came right to it and has been holding at it for a little while. We talked about before that right here in the middle where composite VPOC is, around 48.90, really doesn't offer a whole lot of edge. We've been trading a little bit around that area for the last couple of months here. Really, the better edge presents itself out this way or down here. And this is what I mention quite often, is that when price is sitting right around value, you kind of have to ignore it sometimes and wait for it to get to an edge, or play it to an edge if something clear emerges. But it's really at the edges where the most significant plays can be seen, because that's where you see the major reaction. So again, got to be careful and more patient with crude right now. Still in a quiet uptrending market, but it's very difficult to say with confidence that this thing is going to go up or come back. Just because it's chopping around value, anything can happen. And until we get to a real edge here, you got to continue to be patient and cautious with crude. If you look at the NQ here, here's a look at the NQ on a higher time frame. The NQ has been stuck right at 6K. I mean, literally stuck at 6K. Here's 5995.75. It just ticked down one. And that's where we are, right at 6K basically, and we have not moved for a few weeks. So again, this has been a very quiet market here, very narrow range that it's developed, and we've been sitting right at the center of the range. We never moved to an edge the previous session, just kind of got stuck. So again, the trend remains up. It remains up, but again, this is not a great spot to buy. It's best to wait for some sort of pullback or a test of a key edge to get in and look to fade it. And right now, again, no ball game being played, so you got to continue to be patient as we head into the FOMC. All right, taking a look lastly at gold. Now, gold has had more of a pullback here. Very impressive how this thing has pulled back and continue to pull back, despite the fact that many bulls were looking to defend and enter this market. I know I was looking to defend here, but then we got a failed new high. Then here, but we got a failed new high. Once we get those failed new highs, that's when caution enters our trading room. If you get a failed new high, then come into our buy zone. It's no longer a buy zone because you had a failed range expansion first. So anytime you see that failed new high, those are symptoms that this thing is going lower. So right now, crude oil pulling back. We'll see how much more we get. Again, 1300 is the major pivot here. 1300 remains the major pivot. If price can hold 1300, we may see another retest of highs. Otherwise, a failure to hold that level opens up 1253 and perhaps as low as 1200. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.